Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us this week on our Connection show. We do a show every Monday where you have organizations and individuals from those organizations come in and talk about what's important around our viewing area. We have a lot of great organizations, and we want to share what they do to help you out in our viewing area. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a young man about a big event coming up. It's just around the corner, the 4th of July.
Sam Alexander Pharmacy has expanded and is now offering many additional products and services. Their new pharmaceutical compounding area allows them to create products to fit the unique needs of a customer. They also have added Spinco orthotic shoes and sandals, Dr. Comfort diabetic shoes, baby gifts by Aiden and Anais, and toys by Melissa and Doug. Stop in today and let them help you with any of your specialty pharmaceutical needs. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, your local Health Mart pharmacy in Harrison.
Here's another satisfied client from Dental Creations of Harrison.
My husband and I both needed to have dentures. I had looked online and we saw a picture of Wanda, just something about her. I thought this is the place we're going to do. And I called in and spoke with Dave, and he was just tremendous. He answered every single question the first call and told us what our copay would be. It was just an awesome experience.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio today is Matt Bell. Matt is the director of the Harrison Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. It's
Some people call it CVV.
CVV, yes.
That's a short version.
Yes.
Matt has been in with us numerous times in the past and talked about different events that the Harrison Convention and Visitor Bureau sponsors and different things that they do. Actually, let's just talk first about the CVB just a little bit before we get into the topic that we want to really get into today. Tell the people, the viewing audience, if you would, out there, what the Harrison Convention Visitors Bureau is. Some people get it a little confused with the Harrison Chamber of Commerce. You're two separate organizations.
Sure.
And how your funding comes.
Well, we are the Convention and Visitors Bureau is a contracted set of employees that work under the CATPC, the City Advertising Tourism Promotion Commission. Okay. And that commission is funded by a 1% prepared food tax and 3% lodging tax within the city limits of Harrison. Okay. So that organization sets a budget, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau works within that budget throughout the year. So our primary focus is tourism, to bring additional dollars to our community, thus increasing the amount of tourism tax collected and ultimately allowing us to help other organizations. We fund the Ozark Arts Council for some of their play activities, the Harrison Regional Chamber of Commerce for their two events that they do, Crawdad Days and Balloon Fest, and then any other small organizations like Brothers of the Third Wheel just had an event out at the fairgrounds, their national rally that they did, and it's any organization that has potential to bring outside visitors into our community. That's what we like to fund.
Well, and I want to mention you actually forgot one. I happen to be on the Parks Commission, but you give a lot of money to the Harrison Parks and Rec and to the commission to help fund. Obviously, Harrison, one of our primary draws is youth programs, and we have some of the most premier of any town 3 times our size anywhere in the region when it comes to baseball and softball fields, soccer fields, indoor opportunity for basketball, volleyball, and so forth with all the gymnasiums, and soon to have another new one here. And so really there's another one that you give a lot to that a lot of people don't think about, because obviously you're in the investment that the CVB makes in these organizations. That money turns right back over, comes right back into the community through the restaurant tax, hotel, motel tax, which goes back into their hopper, and then you can reinvest again. So it's a complete turnover all the time.
25% of our restaurant collection goes straight to the Parks and Rec Department to help maintain fields, but also help host tournaments and things. And it's been a very key partnership in our growth, as well as the Parks and Rec's growth and success throughout the years. So we really enjoy working together. Actually, a lot of people are still convinced that I work for the Parks and Recreation, because when I was hired at the CVB, I was the Director of Sports and Events, and so they just assume, oh, you work for the Parks and Rec. Well, not really. Oh, then you work for the Chamber? No, I work for the CVB. So
you got a lot of hats.
Yeah. I work everywhere.
The other thing that, for those of you in the viewing audience that may not know, the location. Maybe tell where your offices are. You've moved not too long ago.
We were fortunate a few years ago to work out an agreement with Bear State Bank, in which we were able to lease their downtown square office at 200 West Stevenson, so it's on the southwest corner of the square. We've partnered with Harrison Housing Authority and Casa for Kids, and it's been a very good location for us. We're much more visible to our downtown traffic, and I think people would be thoroughly surprised at how many visitors just stop in that we knew you had a downtown, so we wanted to come see it. There's still a lot of interest in heritage tourism.
Another thing that people in the viewing audience out there that may not know, of course, you work very closely with the Harrison City Council. In fact, you have 2 members of your board that are liaisons. Yeah. Maybe tell a little bit about the board and that mix.
So we have, as you said, 2 of our board members are city council members, and those are Dina Taylor and Brian Herring, both very good board members, very strong, active board members. But the other areas are we have restaurant and hotel owners or managers, and then we have a one at-large member. So we have a 7-person board. It consists of Tonette Madison from the Boone County Heritage Museum. Robin Reeves is our chairman. She's with McDonald's. If you don't know Robin, then you haven't been around Harrison very long at all. And then we have Philip Wood, who is owns Holiday Hampton and Quality Inns in town. And we have Nathan Patton, who is at Brick Oven Pizza, one of our newer board members and great guy. And then our last one would be Shannon Snow, who was actually on our commission when he was a councilman. And then our at-large position came open, and he was no longer a councilman, so we just were able to bring him right back on board.
That's good. Well, as you can see, that's a good cross of the community, from businesses, obviously, motel, hotel business, the restaurant business. Of course, the at-large person would be somebody that's involved in the community a lot, and then 2 of the aldermen that's on that board. And of course, you do a budget every year. You have your own budget that you put together, and guidelines because they are a part of the convention and CATPC, Convention and Visitors Bureau. You have guidelines that you can go by, where you can spend your money.
I'm still young at this. There's no question about that. But oftentimes, I'll have to open up the code book and make sure that we are following along. And part of a large organization, the Arkansas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, and there's several members of that organization that have been directors for a long time, and being a part of that organization and being able to pick up the phone and call them, it's helped tremendously. But there's it surprises people, that we do have some strict guidelines, especially whenever I call that business and say, hey, will you help with the fireworks this year? And then 2 months later they're putting together an event and they want us to fund it, but it doesn't bring in tourism. It's more of a donation thing, and I say, I'm sorry, we can't do that. So it's pretty strict, and you don't want to mess up.
Right. I was trying to think that tax that Matt was talking about, it was actually voted in by the people. I mean, it's something that has to be voted in and out by the people. I can't recall how long is it? Do you know? I mean, I know you're fairly new there, but we've had it for some time.
I think it was in the 50s.
Okay,
mid 50s.
It's been around for quite a while.
It's been around for a long time.
Okay, all right. We got about 5 minutes. Let's finish up talking about what's coming right up. The 4th of July. Fire in the Sky. Let's talk about this big event coming up.
We're excited. Again, I believe this is the year number 4 that we've hosted it. And, of course, we've got it down at the Anstaff Soccer Complex. All of the visitors and spectators will need to park at the junior high or youth center or wherever they can find a spot, literally. And then walk up through along Crooked Creek there down toward the soccer complex from the junior high entrance.
Okay.
But we're excited. 25,000 again this year. And the show, I think, lasts around 20-25 minutes, so that's roughly
$1,000 a minute.
You know, that's wow.
When you talk about your dollars going up in smoke, this is truly what you talk about.
Absolutely.
Kicking off in the morning.
The Bear State Bank will have their turtle races. They'll have they'll start them off at 9 a.m.
Okay.
They're on the south side of the square, but pre-registration on site will be at 8:30 while they're setting things up. And then following it, roughly about 10 o'clock, McDonald's will have their children's parade out there that they do. And then immediately following that, the Daughters of the American Revolution will do their thing. And then it kind of goes, blah for a little while. It goes, hey, go have fun with your family and friends and hang out and cook out and do all that good stuff. And then at about 5 o'clock, we tell people to start coming on down to the soccer complex. And there we'll have frozen T-shirt competition, hot wing eating competition, ice cream competition, and just a lot of fellowship.
Fun for the family.
Yeah, come on down and hang out. Kids running around everywhere. People having a good time setting up for the fireworks. And then at about 9-ish is when they kaboom.
Okay.
We've got the Boy Scouts again this year that are going to post the colors for us. And we're excited about it.
If you think about it, and I know this amount has gone up over the years as they could afford to do more, but $25,000 worth of fireworks, that's a lot of booms and sparkles and color, and like Matt was talking about a 25-minute time frame, so you're talking about $1,000 a minute. So it'll be a fun deal. It's all free to the public.
Absolutely it is, and that's all thanks to our sponsors that have made that happen. We've got some key sponsors that have helped us throughout the years, and we obviously dedicate some funding to it, but the other 50, we do 10 and have to raise 15. So that's kind of been our commitment to the city to show them, hey, your hamburger tax, here's a little entertainment for it.
That is nice, Matt. It is actually, here's an event that's a kind of a thank you to the people in the area. People from all the trade area, not just the city of Harrison, come to this event, this annual event. And as Matt mentioned, they put a lot of their money out of their budget into making this a nice evening for the family, daytime as well. So it's say thank you. I mean, it's your money, but they're giving it right back to you. So that's great. It's a good event. Did we miss anything? Got everything covered on
just
it?
make sure everybody knows it's on Monday, July 4th.
We're doing it on Monday. Monday will be great. I mean, that's a good day. People will be off. A lot of people will be off on Monday. Businesses closed. And so if you're not going out of town on Monday for the 4th of July, don't forget about Fire in the Sky. It's always a great event. Bring your family down. If you're into turtles, come down on the square on Monday morning there and watch if you even don't bring a turtle, just go down and watch. You'll see some very interesting turtles and little kids. They're having a great time. I always like to watch. One of my favorite deals.
It's awesome.
So, Matt, thanks for coming in and being a part of our show today. As always, we appreciate you and have been around the CVB for many years and want to say thank you for a job well done.
Appreciate
that. Great job. Thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. I hope we brought some information to you that perhaps you didn't know about. Stay with us for the second half of our show. We're going to talk with a gentleman about a fostering program called The Call in just a moment.
Spring has arrived in the Ozarks. This is Brent Carell inviting you to Carell Family Gardens and Gifts in Harrison. Whether you need an entirely new landscape or simply need a rose to brighten up a corner of your backyard, we have a large selection of trees and shrubs. We also have Harrison's largest selection of pottery, from terracotta clay pots to gorgeous glazed pots in every imaginable color, shape, and size. Perhaps you're looking for garden benches, outdoor pillows, fountains, lanterns, or maybe just the right gift for someone? We have an array of home decor and gift items. Maybe you need something for your young children or grandchildren? We carry a full inventory of fun items to create fairy gardens and yard art. Are you ready to garden? We carry all the spring vegetables and seeds you need to get your garden growing, along with compost and fertilizer. As the weather continues to warm, we'll have a dizzying display of blooming annuals, perennials, hanging baskets, ferns, roses, and hydrangeas. Correll Family Gardens and Gifts is your locally owned garden and home store located at the north end of Goblin Drive at Industrial Park Road.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our next guest in the studio today is no stranger to most people that's lived around Harrison for a while, Mark Missler, who owns Missler Furniture and Appliance Store on Highway 7 South. Mark, good to have you here.
Thank you.
We're not going to talk about the heat. We're not going to talk about anything. We're going to talk about an organization that's fairly new around here in this area. It's called The Call, and you've got your shirt on there. It has to do with foster children. And if you would maybe just briefly tell a little bit about The Call, if you do, so people that don't know.
Okay. For people that don't know, The Call is an organization called The Call. That stands for Children of Arkansas Love for a Lifetime. And what we're doing is we're trying to put foster children in Christian homes. And there's many ways we could do that, and we're trying to get people involved with that particular ministry. That's a lot of that stuff doesn't make the news because of privacy. I mean, you'd never know, when kids are being taken out of homes, which is a shame. So it doesn't get a lot of advertisement. So we appreciate this opportunity to talk about it.
The organization, The Call, I think has been here maybe a couple of years, if I remember right. But is it a national organization, or is it local? Do you know? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Ours is local.
Okay.
It started in the state of Arkansas.
Okay.
It's going into some other states, yes.
Okay.
Because what has happened is DHS, who does a great job, most of the time I think they do a great job, very overworked, they have decided, we're going to have the churches involved in this opportunity. Just can't do it on their own, and so we have partnered together, and that's what we do. Is we recruit, we train, we partner with DHS, and we support the foster homes, and we'll talk about ways we do that.
Let's go ahead and get into that. Why don't you just...
Well, our scripture, of course, it's Christian based, so we believe the Bible, and based on James 1:27, we are called to care for orphans in their distress, and I think it mentions widows too. Our particular job is the orphans. Okay. That's what The Call does. Kids that do not have a home that are taken. And when they're taken, many times it's during the school year. All they have is what's on them, which isn't very much. The problem we're running into, let me go back up. The goal we have is to involve every church in Boone County.
Okay.
That's what we would like to do. We need one foster home per church so that there are no more waiting children in Arkansas. Currently, and we just ran this last night, we have 99 children in foster care in Boone County.
Wow.
That's a bunch. We only have 20 open homes. So obviously that's 5 kids a home, basically.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Which won't work. So approximately 46% of these kids are being sent out of county, usually to group homes, which we don't really like. We appreciate them. But a group home, they're thrown, all of a sudden this kid's taken from everything he knows. If this kid, now the kid doesn't go to his home church, he doesn't go to his school. He or she, they're not with their friends, they're not around any family. It's just completely strange to them and very scary. That would be scary to a kid. We are having an informational meeting This is a meeting where you can come to, and there is no obligation. You can find out about the call, and that is going to be Thursday, July 14th at 6 o'clock at the Northvale Baptist Church in Harrison, which is 310 North Adams Street. And that's where you can come and get information. The girls can answer more questions than I can. Laura Stevens is actually our county coordinator. She's the boss. And her phone number is 870-518-9209. Some other things, I guess, while we're talking, we have a call mall. This is located on West Sherman, Suite C. For people that's lived here a while, it's the old Joe Bowers orthodontic office, kind of the top of what we called Ramada Inn Hill. It's above McDonald's. Hudson Realty, I think, is down there. Mm-hmm. It's up above that on the top. There's a little medical plaza, and it's back there. We are in great need right now of some donations. We can always use money. We can use prayers. But we need gently used clothing for birth to 18-year-olds. We don't need junk. We appreciate anything we get, but, stuff with holes and stuff like that that's nasty and dirty, that's hard to give to somebody. So, don't bring that. Hygiene supplies, baby supplies, packages of new underwear and socks. One of the biggest things we got going on right now, too, is we have a $10,000 challenge runs through July 1st. We have someone in Harrison that is willing to match every dollar we get up to $10,000. So we could definitely use money. There are some call jugs. This is a call jug. If you haven't seen one at your church, you can get them from Laura Stevens or me, just to collect change. And again, this couple is going to match that money. If churches would be willing to do that, some of them are. There are some local restaurants have it. I always get nervous naming names, but I know Brick Oven, Miguel's, they have these by their cash registers. And then Bobby at Papa Jean's, actually, if you buy his family pack of barbecue, which might be a good time, 4th of July coming up, he donates some money to us for every one of those he sells. And different things like that people do is greatly appreciated because it's a nonprofit. We're not getting paid. Laura doesn't get paid. And I like to tell people that too, where money goes. Because, I've given money to things, and then you never know where it goes. This is going directly to kids. We do paperwork and copying. Of course, that costs us a little money. We do the training, and that costs money. Right now, we're helping to train and open 7 new homes. People are giving their time. If everyone can't foster care, I understand that. They've not been called to do it. Everyone can pray. Everyone can give. Churches could open their doors for us to host one weekend, an informational meeting, maybe every 3 months. We try to do different churches. That's something we really need. But a high school girl needed extra money for shoes for prom. The girls bought her a pair of shoes. They didn't go buy high-priced shoes. They bought her a pair of shoes. We use gift baskets for foster homes. Some of the money goes to gift baskets when they open their home, and then a little bit of money at Christmas, because a lot of folks have other kids. We're not trying to put a financial burden on someone. If they're willing to open their home, they are sacrificing their lives, their lifestyle. So we try to do that, and of course DHS helps with that, and then there's always back-to-school supplies that these kids need. That's the money.
The situation, I was kind of amazed there at the number that you talked about there, just in Boone County alone.
Boone County.
Let's go back just a moment, and then we'll touch again on the donation thing. Again, someone has graciously offered to match dollar for dollar here in Boone County for every dollar that they raise, up to $10,000. So realistically, this could be a $20,000 deal if the people out there would give just a few dollars here or there to get up to the 10, so that the other 10 will come in. The mall, let's talk about that just a little bit. Okay, so I know where it is. It's up by Harrison Family Practice in there in that area. Easy to find, medical park up there. is that open all the time, or can people drop off stuff there, or how's that work?
I'm not sure of the hours. They could call Laura, but yes, it's pretty much open all the time of a day.
Okay.
And yes, they can drop stuff off there.
Okay.
But the other thing you can do is get stuff there. Okay. And you don't have to be a foster home. We try to help anyone that has a need. You know, we have diapers, formula, we have lots of stuff. That's another thing, too. We have stuff. Say a baby is at the hospital and drugs are involved. We need someone to go up there and sit with that baby. If we can't provide someone to sit with that baby, and it doesn't have to be the same person, it could rotate. If some older ladies at a church, Sunday school class or something, or young ladies, that baby, if we don't have someone there, goes to Children's Hospital. Then you're not getting them. Again, it's hard to get them back to the area. You know, of course, a baby is not as familiar with things as, you know, an 8-year-old child that's raised here. But anyway, back to the call mall. That's what we do. We also wash these clothes up there. We have a washer and dryer. We need people to come and help wash and dry clothes. We have all that stuff there. We just need help doing it and sorting it. We could use a lot of help up there doing that because it's providing a lot of need for the community. It is meeting a lot of needs, and especially, again, these foster kids that are so helpless. You know, they want to be with mom and dad. They want to be with family. You know, the family's made decisions where they can't stay with them anymore. And so here's that kid hurting. And these are our kids. And I'm like you, 99 kids. And that's in care right now. You know, unfortunately, those numbers usually pick up when school starts because more things are reported because they're at school. But it is a big issue. It's something, again, that you don't hear a lot about. But we've got to start taking care of these kids, or we're just going to have more problems locally as they get older. If they're not taught differently, it's going to provide more issues that we don't need.
Wow. It really is. And the reason I wanted to have Mark or as somebody representing the call on the show today is we have a lot of great organizations out there that do a lot of things for people and at various levels, various ages, situations, or whatever. But now here's a organization that's fairly new, a couple of years old, that has already got 99 kids just in Boone County alone in foster homes. Unfortunately, it's a few homes taking a lot of kids. So if you happen to be out there, maybe your kids are gone, you'd like to, you know, take a couple of children in to help out here, give them a call. In fact, Laura, again, I want to give her number, Laura Stevens, 870-518-9209 is her phone number. Or if you want to get some more information, Mark it's out at his business most of the time, Missler's Appliance and Furniture on Highway 7 South. Stop in. He'll be happy to talk to you about it, I'm sure, and give you more information, or at least lead you in the right direction to get more information. So keep this in mind. If you have products that you'd like to donate to their mall, again, give them a call. Cash donations right now with this big drive. Mark, obviously you'd like to match that $10,000.
Sure.
And so you get the other $20,000 will go a long way.
It will go a long way as an organization,
really
because we're not. I mean, the money is spent on kids, or the foster family.
Okay. Well, Mark, thank you for coming in. I know you're very busy. I appreciate you coming in today and talking about this. And I know you've fostered children of your own. I've known you for a long time. So again, if you're out there and you'd like to know more about the call, it's a very worthwhile organization. Mark, thank you so much for coming in today, and good luck, and I hope you get that $20,000.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks for joining us on Connection. Hope we brought some information to you today that will help you better understand these organizations. We'll see you again next time.
Crystal clear mountain streams, river rapids, and rolling hills with endless valleys. The beauty of the Ozarks we often take for granted. At Magnus Toyota, we never underestimate the value of our customers. As a third-generation family-owned business, Magnus Toyota has been operating here in the Ozarks for over 50 years. When we make a new deal, we make a new friend. Stop in and visit us today and see why our customers say we're the best.